Welcome back to another OCG Meta Report, the place where we look at the decks that no one actually shows you. So this is going to be another 10 OCG decks following Alliance Insight. But before anything else, I'll be giving away this quarter-century secret rare European print pack fresh Evil Hero Neos Lord. All you have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below which one of these decks that I'm going to show today excites you the most. And yeah, it's a pretty good looking QCR. And it could be yours, free of charge, directly to your doorstep. So every week or so, we do these OCG meta reports where I take a look at the deep cut decks in the Konami database. These are OCG duelists who upload their decks, and some of these are tournament decks. And it's just like really cool to see the future, basically looking into the future, into what cards I should buy, which decks interest me, and which are, kind of sleepers in the meta. We're starting off with a fan favorite. We got a lot of alt art reveals recently, and this one is Eldlich. Now, Eldlich definitely did get a few new support cards, and also is getting them in Alliance Insight, I believe, or even Supreme Darkness, I think. So there will be actual more reveals and more support cards for Eldlich that are directly Eldlich cards. This is specifically this one. I believe is the new one, and of course this big fusion. But basically you can see the direction where this deck is taking. We should probably take advantage of the fact that the TCG rather, has 3 Pot of Extravagance. This is huge. This one is a new card directly out of Supreme Darkness. That is another Eldlich support card. Also this one, which can send Eldlich to the graveyard and start your combo. And yeah, this is a new card that recycles your banished Eldlich cards, and we can see some stuff here, skill drain, summon limit is still at 1, and I think this is called Dragon's Bind, I think, in the TCG, and this is a pretty strong floodgate. If you control a monster with 2500 attack or defense, I believe, then your opponent cannot activate the effect of monsters with fewer attack points on the field, which is a very, very strong one that people have just now realized kind of exists. The extra deck is obviously like a Pot of Extravagance extra deck, but a lot of really cool stuff. Obviously, Silhouette Rabbit, which can set any of these from the deck. The Eldlich fusions that you can now utilize and summon and actually have good effects. Link Spider, the zombie ship from, I believe it was Legacy of Destruction. And then Varudras, obviously, level 10s, you can rank up into it. And also with this new support card, and Inspect Border is still a thing. Now, White Forest is getting more support in Alliance Insight, and it's basically going to be just the new Diabelles and the new Diabelle Star, which really support the deck. You have to understand that this deck is actually pretty solid in the OCG right now. There are a few things like Baron de Fleur that are actually, very, very good in this deck, and also have the new Azamina Fusion and the new Snake Eyes Synchro, and the Poplar Synchro, which is just like really good extenders in a boss monster that is basically Flamberge on steroids, can do that. Not forgetting the Field Spell, which is incredible supporter for White Forest, which is basically Perla Rhino for White Forests. Really, really good. And again, you have to remember, 1 Diabelle Star, 1 wanted in the OCG, which makes it so that you can fit more traps. And because the deck is designed so well, all of them are going to be good discards for you to send off of your White Forest monsters, reset themselves. This is a really cool deck. I'm super excited to see how it comes together. And this is basically the final lore deck, essentially, just because Snake Eyes hit so much. Now, the OCG is looking for some replacements for Ryziel cards. In the last Forbidden and Limited list, we had Ryziel X'd go to 1, which is the main powerful starter. Obviously, Ice Ryziel is very, very good, but X has additional benefits, doesn't require you to normal summon, and also a few other hits like 7th Tachyon, which isn't actually played in this deck, and Bonfire is already limited to 1. So in terms of the quality starters, you have basically 5. You have 1 X, 1 Bonfire, and 3 Ice. You can utilize that with more Tachyon cards, but what this duelist did is just utilize Stellar Knights, which are very, very strong as your normal summon engine to extend into more Xyz monsters, and especially rank 4s. And you can see the extra deck is pretty much just like everything with Stellar Knights. You know, Master Diamonds, not Master Diamond, sorry. I think it was Constellite. It was Diamond, the one that got recently unbanned in the TCG. It's a pretty strong floodgate, to be honest. Not sure in terms of the meta right now, but could be a little bit better in the future. You know, I've been repping Materiactor, and look, it's kind of seeping through to the OCG as well. If you haven't seen my Materiactor combo video, I really, really recommend it because the deck has such good backbone, right? It has a very good premise, and you can see that it can utilize a lot of things. Now, this is the new Light Dragon that is releasing, I think, in Alliance Insight, so we're going to get more support for Materiactor, but there actually are new Ancient Fairy cards, which you can see here. They're all light beasts, playing Melfi cards as well, and it's especially strong when you can use the Ancient Fairy Life Dragon, which, if you don't know, draws you a card on Synchro Summon, or if you control the field spell, which is this one, the World of Spirits. I don't remember what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be called in the TCG. They're also playing Slifer here, which is interesting, but this card can search Lancia. If you control the field spell, instead of drawing, you can add any light, beast, or fairy, I think. I think it's beast or fairy, maybe another type as well. So this is good, and you can actually play it in Blue Eyes, and we'll talk about it a little bit later as well, which is going to be probably now. I think, are they playing it? They're not playing it, actually, but this is a card you can definitely play in Blue Eyes, and people are going to explore. This is basically a Primite Blue Eyes deck. Blue Eyes is still very solid in the OCG. You can see here they're playing a little bit of a bigger Primite engine with Roar and Drill Beam, but also the Imperial Dragon, right? Which is basically, you can tribute summon it on your opponent's turn, then Dark Ruler no more your opponent's board, which is good. So in terms of removal and negation, this deck does it really good. And one of the spicier techs that I saw here is actually Oxyla, Centurion Oxyla, which what it does for this deck, I checked. I was like, which Centurion card it searches? It doesn't. What it does is protect your True Light and your back row. So once it's on the field, your opponent cannot destroy your face-up spell and traps, so it can protect the Centurions. But in this deck, you have the field spell, you have Primite cards, and you have the True Light, which is very important to protect. So I think this is a pretty cool tech card. Orchest is going to be getting new support in the TCG sometime, but now it's looking like such a solid list. Like, this is such a cool deck to play. 40 cards, lots of non-engine, Fiendsmith cards, and it's kind of anti-synergetic because you're going to be locked into dark sometimes, but, you know, it's kind of limited in the OCG anyway, so yeah. But this is very cool. I like this. With a Baoku, you can definitely get some light and darks into a rotation. It's a dark, so you can special summon it. And I'm really interested to know when we're actually going to get that support because it's going to be really cool. Sorry. So, Crystron. Now, I think we have seen this in the TCG a little bit, not a lot, but Tidal, Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls, is actually such a good card in this deck, and I can't believe more people aren't playing it. So this basically searches any water monster from the deck, right? But what it also does, I think it foolishes, right? I think it foolishes a water monster by discarding itself and another water or dragon, right? Yeah, you can discard it in a water, send a monster, a water monster, I think, from the deck to the graveyard. This is a translation thing. And then you can special summon this card by banishing as well. So what this does, because they are all waters, and basically most of them have really good graveyard effects, it allows you to go plus a lot and get your graveyard set up ready, which is cool. Yeah, extra deck is looking pretty nice with Cyber Dragon Infinity, of course. Mechaba, if you don't know, if you get nibbed on Nova, you can actually summon Mechaba for free from the extra deck, which is pretty crazy. This is, yeah. I'm not going to discuss this too much, but if you want to cook with this, here's your template. Nouvelle, we kind of forgot about Nouvelle. It was actually a little bit playable and kind of annoying, but now with Regenesis and Kennen Gan and the Rituals, he's playing Hungry Burger and Dogmatica. this deck is pretty solid. Like another deck that doesn't really need to summon from the extra deck. Ritual decks are always going to benefit. Take this and cook with this. Really, please do. And with Regenesis, it's going to be one of the strongest archetype from Alliance Inside. It's basically a 2500 deck, right? This is what it is. This will add you Diabels, right? Which you can special summon, get a monster with 2500 attack on the board, and then all of these can special summon themselves, get an Omni Negate, get a Bounce, get another Search. They have really, really strong spell cards and trap cards. And in addition to that, of course, they're playing Dragon's Bind and also Dogmatica Engine, just because you're not going to be summoning from the extra deck here. Archfiend Eris is interesting. I wonder if there's an actual way to send it to the graveyard. Duke of Demise is here. You got Infernoid Evil. This is spicy. This is the definition of spice. And then lastly, checking up on another meta deck, Malice. You know, you should be kind of ready to see what this deck plays. And this might be a little bit of a vision towards the TCG, right? I'm suspecting the next Forbidden Unlimited list is going to hit Bestials severely. And now with the backup at Ignister card and some new Malice support, that is basically just a Bestial replacement because it can banish your own Malice and trigger them, it's going to be pretty much like this. Like imagine if these two get limited, this is probably going to be the list. Right now, like the fact that people are playing 10 Bestials in their deck, let me tell you, as a Malice player, I wish it wasn't the case, but this is not going to last forever. We see a pretty interesting side with Metal Tronus also seeping into the OCG, which is great. Side Frames, Red Reboot, I wish we had it. And then they also have a Velosa Legal and the new Ignister Chord Talker, which is really good. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget about the giveaway. Quarter Century Secret Rare Evil Hero Neos Lord could be yours. Just make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below which of these decks excites you the most. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.